For 3,000 years, the veil between worlds had held firm. The dark gods of Acheron, those cosmic horrors that had ruled when the world was young, had been banished beyond the walls of sleep, their sorcerer priests entombed, their altars cold. But know this, you who walk beneath the sun. Acheron was no mere empire of men. When the world was younger and the stars hung in different houses, the purple-towered cities of that accursed realm sprawled across the earth like a cancer. Its sorcerer-kings were not wholly human, having bred with things that crept from spaces between the stars. They raised their ziggurats to alien gods and worked such magic as would blast a modern mind to gibbering madness. In those days, the ancestors of the Hyborians were but savage tribes, wielding bronze and stone against the cosmic might of Acheron. Yet in their barbaric hearts burned something the sorcerers, for all their dark wisdom, could not fathom. The pure, untainted fire of humanity's rage. Where the Acheronians bent knee to their tentacled masters, the Hyborians stood defiant, preferring death to submission. The war that followed shook the pillars of the earth. For an age and an age, bronze clashed against sorcery, mortal will against cosmic horror. The Hyborians died in their thousands, their blood watering the cursed earth. But each death was bought with terrible price. For every barbarian that fell, they dragged down a sorcerer, burned a tome of forbidden knowledge, toppled an altar of unspeakable purpose. And in the end, it was not magic that won, but mortal fury. The barbarians, led by a nameless hero whose deeds echo still in Cimmerian fireside tales, formed the great binding. With crude runes carved in their own flesh, and words of power torn screaming from dying sorcerer throats, they sealed the cosmic gods beyond the veil of reality. Acheron fell in a single night of blood and flame, its purple towers crashing down, its sorcerer-kings buried beneath the weight of their own ambition. Thus was the world made clean, or so men believed. The veil held. The cosmic horrors slumbered in dimensions beyond human reach. The descendants of those Hyborian heroes spread across the earth, forgetting in time the true nature of their ancient victory, until a wandering Cimmerian, last son of those savage tribes, reached out and grasped a blade of power in the scorched wastes. The irony would make even grim Crom laugh, that a descendant of those who sealed the darkness would be the one to crack that seal. But power calls to power, and the blood remembers what the mind forgets. Perhaps it was always meant to be so. Perhaps the cosmos has its own cruel sense of justice. Now the veil grows thin. When man first crawled from the primordial muck and dared to stand upright beneath uncaring stars, he learned a terrible truth, that some actions echo through eternity. Three moons passed in the scorched wastes. A barbarian's hand closed upon an ancient blade, and the cosmos shuddered. The blade of Duma, forged before men knew speech, wielded by Jinn princes in the dawn times, had found a mortal master. In that moment of triumph, Conan of Samaria knew only victory. He did not know that his deed had torn a wound in reality itself. For 3,000 years the veil between worlds had held firm. The dark gods of Acheron, those cosmic horrors that had ruled when the world was young, had been banished beyond the walls of sleep, their sorcerer priests entombed, their altars cold. But power calls to power, and the awakening of the blade had sent ripples through dimensions mortal minds cannot fathom. Now the veil grows thin. Ancient eyes turn toward our world with renewed hunger. What was banished seeks return. What was dead dreams of resurrection. And the barbarian who broke the seal must now become the guardian of the breach.
So rid me from this condition, ignore me to my voice, an instrument of intuition, some might say a choice. They give to you all rose and lace before they take their share, and with a dark glowering and hopeless horny stares.
This is the burden of those who seize power without counting its cost, to forever stand against the consequences of their actions. For Conan had learned a bitter truth. It is easier to wake a sleeping god than to make it slumber again. The blade of Duma burns at his back, fire and ice singing their eternal song. It whispers of the battles to come, of the horrors that even now test the boundaries of their prisons. Where hundreds had died in the attempt, where jinn spawn and sorcerers had failed, the Cimmerian had triumphed through sheer barbaric will. It was a deed to make the gods take notice. He took the blade for glory and plunder. Now he must wield it to hold back the dark, lest his triumph become the world's doom. For in this age of fading empires and rising shadows, one man's mistake may be mankind's salvation, if he has the strength to pay the price. Let the old gods come. They will find their path barred by Cimmerian steel, and a barbarian's stubborn refusal to kneel, even to his own errors. The Cimmerian stood beneath the dying stars, watching shadows gather at the world's edge. His voice rumbled like distant thunder. Crom laughs at my folly. Let him laugh. The blade wanted a master, now it has one. By its edge and my fury, I'll seal what I've sundered.